Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. It has been far too long since we've talked about fragrances. I actually came down with a terrible head cold around the holidays and I could not smell a thing for weeks. It was so frustrating. So it's taken me a while to get back, but now nose is working perfectly again. And I've been finding all of the fragrances that launched towards the end of the year that I hadn't had a chance to try. And I've done a really good job. So I have all of the notable, trending, most popular main character fragrances. I'd say there are still probably 2 or 3 smaller niche fragrances that were on my list. I really wanted to try them, but I just haven't had a chance yet. So those few aside, today I am sharing my thoughts on all of the 2023 launches and I'm telling you which were the best and worst. Let's begin with one of the best fragrance launches of 2023 and my first fragrance purchase of the year. So this is really exciting. I tried this right before the holidays, actually right before I got sick. And I was in store and I was just sniffing around, trying all of the fragrance recommendations from you. So many people were talking about Amouage Guidance. It became really popular with other influencers and content creators, so I knew I needed to try it. I hadn't looked up the notes and I honestly hadn't even seen or heard any reviews for myself. The first time I tried this fragrance, it was not what I expected. It was like fall, Christmas, holidays in a bottle. It was spicy, cinnamon, a little sweet, gourmand. The dry down is so beautiful and it's a very striking fragrance in that it kind of lures you in, and the more you smell it, the more you fall in love with the fragrance. It made a very strong impression right away because it stayed in the back of my mind and I thought it would stay on my wish list, but as I was thinking about all of my favorite launches of the year, I kept going back to Amouage Guidance and I knew that you were right. I had to add this to my list because it really is full bottle worthy. Top notes include pear, incense, hazelnut. The heart notes are saffron, rose, sambac, jasmine, osmanthus. Base notes include cistus, sandalwood, akigala wood, ambergris, and vanilla. The blush and nude bottle is so beautiful. It's a very elegant, sophisticated fragrance. It does not smell like the quintessential Miami scent. I think that was the reason I had pause when I first tried it. See, now when I smell it, I don't know what I was thinking, why I didn't just purchase it immediately. I guess I should be proud that I waited until I was 100% sure that I absolutely loved this fragrance. And I do. It's perfect. And it still reminds me a little bit of Christmas, the holidays, apple pie. It just has a really welcoming warmth to it. It really does smell like a warm hug. If you love the idea of a very rich, luxurious, cinnamony vanilla, I think you will love this fragrance. Definitely worth checking out. Hands down, one of the best fragrance launches of 2023. Another one of my favorite new launches is Alghabra from Parfum de Marly. Now this comes with the masculine bottle, and I'm still not sure. I'm kind of torn on whether or not this is going to end up with my husband's fragrance collection because it is very unisex. It's a vanilla forward fragrance and it smells incredible. It reminds me a little bit of root beer. Key notes include orange flower, bergamot, cinnamon, cardamom, vanilla, guaiac wood, praline, and musk. Parfum de Marly has so many strong fragrances for both men and women, but I think this might be one of their best for men. And it might actually be one of my favorite men's fragrances. It is just so incredible. I can see this being the perfect weekend or evening fragrance for men. If Amouage Guidance is the feminine version, this could kind of be the masculine version because it smells a little bit spicy vanilla. You can tell it's complex. You can tell it's a very elevated, sophisticated niche fragrance. I would put this in the same category as maybe Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford. Like, you would wear them for the same occasion. Special, it's a standout, and if you love vanilla fragrances, you definitely need to try this. Another great vanilla launch in 2023 was Vanilla Powder from Matière Première. Now, I would say the name is a little bit deceiving because this is actually a bit more of a coconut fragrance. I would say coconut musky powder would probably be a better name for it. It definitely has vanilla, but I would say if you love coconut fragrances even more, this would be great for you. Keynotes include white Palo Santo wood, vanilla absolute from Madagascar, coconut powder, and white musks. The first time I tried this, Acro Rise immediately came to mind, and I thought they were similar. Just now I smelled it, And I do think they're different enough that you could have both. Vanilla powder is maybe a little bit softer, a little bit lighter. It's very pretty and a bit ethereal. I don't pick up on the Palo Santo. I don't get a lot of woodiness. Very clean, almost simple, not overly complex, an easy grab and go type of fragrance. It's soft, it's beautiful, it's very effortless. Vanilla is certainly having a moment. It's always been incredibly popular, but a lot of really exciting vanilla launches in 2023. And I was finally able to get my nose on Tom Ford Vanilla Sex. So many people have been talking about this fragrance. There was a lot of anticipation, and I've heard a lot of questions. People have asked me my thoughts. My initial thoughts when I smelled it were, this is nice. It's a very good fragrance. I'm not sure it's a great fragrance. It's definitely not Tom Ford's best. And I'll tell you what, when I first heard this fragrance, I know a lot of people were caught off guard by the name, and Tom Ford is known for those tongue-in-cheek, disruptive, in-your-face marketing tactics like effing fabulous, lost cherry as a little double entendre. Vanilla sex, it means boring sex. So I was kind of thrown. I think a lot of younger people don't realize that, because I saw a lot of people talking about it on TikTok, and they were saying, oh, this is going to be amazing. It's going to be like a sexy vanilla bomb type of fragrance, perfect for date night. When I read the name Vanilla Sex and I saw the sad beige bottle, which is actually perfectly aesthetic for Instagram, I knew I had to pump the brakes. It felt a little too gimmicky, like they were relying on the name and the bottle to sell the fragrance and not the fragrance itself. It's been a while since I've been really blown away by a Tom Ford fragrance launch. I wasn't a big fan of Bitter Peach, Tuberose New, the recent Cherry collection. There really hasn't been an exciting Tom Ford fragrance launch, and he keeps coming out with these uber luxury fragrances where they up the ante and the price tag is even more outrageous. And at that price point, a fragrance has to be outstanding. It has to be something amazing, mind-blowing for me to really justify the price. I didn't want to say anything before I smelled it. I didn't want to come out the gate with hater energy, but now that I've smelled the fragrance, I think Vanilla Sex is the perfect name for it. It's a little vanilla. It's actually a bit more almond floral. It's very pretty, but it smells pleasant. Doesn't smell like a knock your socks off, really unique $400 fragrance, in my opinion. Now, I've been on the record a lot talking about my love for almond fragrances and the almond note. I was searching for the perfect almond fragrance. So I really like this fragrance. I think it smells really good. And I think if you don't have a huge collection, if you're more simple in your fragrance needs and you just happen to really like vanilla and almond, I could understand why someone would purchase this fragrance and be really happy with it. I know a lot of people went into it with really high expectations, thinking it was going to be something ferocious and exciting and just the sexiest fragrance they've ever heard, because it was built up so much online. And I think those people were probably massively disappointed. It's very middle of the road. It's not one of the best fragrance launches of 2023. It's also not one of the worst. It just so happens that it was one of the most anticipated, one of the most popular, so I think you're going to get a lot of polarizing opinions. I'm curious to know your thoughts. If you've tried this fragrance, were you excited about it? Do you love it? Or were you disappointed? Or do you kind of fall in the boat that, yeah, it's nice, but not at that price tag? When I'm thinking about a powerful, show-stopping, best of the best, one of the best launches of 2023, I think of a fragrance like this. It's from Xerjoff. This is Herba Gold. I tried this, I want to say maybe September or October of last year, and I haven't talked about it until now. The first time I tried this, I knew it was love at first sniff, but I instantly thought, okay, this is summertime in a bottle. It's fruity, juicy, and delicious. Key notes include Brazilian orange, bergamot, Sicilian lemon, ginger, pear, cinnamon, melon, cardamom, clove, green apple, amber, white musk, Madagascar vanilla, and woody notes. Definitely date night appropriate. I'm not sure I would wear this during the day. It's a little too powerful, but more evening, special occasions. You know, when you're getting really dressed up and you want one of those wow fragrances. All different types of citrus and fruits mixed in. And to me, this just smells like a luxurious vacation. I love it. This is a standout fragrance, doesn't smell like anything else. Now this is easily one of the most exciting new launches of the year. This is from House of Brandt. It's Clea, a beautiful luxury fragrance. And if you're familiar with Elizabeth Grace or A Room with Perfume, she has an incredible TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube channel, and she is an amazing fragrance content creator. Her husband owns this brand. The keynotes include bergamot, mandarin, olive leaf, magnolia, water lily, jasmine, sea salt, amber, Egyptian musk, tonka bean, cedarwood, and papyrus. It's a very perfumey perfume, and I say that in the best way possible, in that it almost smells like a vintage fragrance or something you would find in a really chic Soho, New York City loft apartment. It's a very pretty floral fragrance. It smells effortless. It smells very chic, daytime, running errands. Wear this anytime. This would be sort of my cool girl casual scent. This will be perfect for spring. I'm excited to wear this in the next few months. But even the bottle is so beautiful. I love all of the design details, the gold label. It feels really heavy and luxurious. So Brandt is a brand to watch. It's no secret that I love rose fragrances, and this smells like a true red rose. It's not jammy, it's not spicy, it's not fruity. It just smells like a bouquet of red roses. This is Erin Rose de Grace Rouge. The bottle is so beautiful. I love the red and gold with the red velvet bow. It looks like a Christmas fragrance. It's very romantic, reminds me a bit of Valentine's Day. I feel like you almost have to wear a bold red lipstick with this fragrance. But it smells like a rose garden and nothing else. It's very singular, so you have to really love rose to appreciate this fragrance. It smells very traditional, more on the conservative side. It's not really sweet, there's not a lot going on, but if you just love rose, and that's it, I think you will love this fragrance. I think there are people out there like me who just appreciate rose for what it is, and you're not trying to change it and make it something different or something too unique. You just really like the smell of roses. This is the one. That was the last full-size bottle I have to share, but I was recently sent this discovery set from Alghabra perfumes, and I had so much luck going through this discovery set. One of them stood out to me. It was one of my favorites, and it actually launched in 2023, so I didn't want to miss the opportunity to share. It's called Sweet Reflection from Alghabra. It has notes of peach, bergamot, cassis, jasmine, rose, powdery white musk, and vanilla. And look, you have all of the fragrances in here. It comes with so many different scents. I wanted to test my samples, so I actually wore this yesterday, and it's just as good, if not maybe a little better on the skin. That peach, wow. It's fruity vanilla. It's like a peachy vanilla, a little floral. It's a princess fragrance. It definitely has mass appeal. If somebody blindfolded me and told me this was the latest launch from Valentino, I wouldn't question it. But that peachiness in there does make it a little bit more unique. It's feminine, it's elegant, sort of checks all of the boxes of a favorite fragrance. And I had never heard of this brand before. If you're familiar, let me know which one is your favorite. So now I'm going to give you the final recap. I'm going to go through all of the fragrances that I tried in 2023, and I'm going to tell you of this group, of all of these fragrances, because they can't all be the best, which fragrances I would say are the very best launches and then the most disappointing. Starting with the best launches of the year, Kayali Silk Santal from the Wedding Collection is a dream fragrance. I feel like this one was made for me. It makes me so sad that this was limited. It has just enough sweetness. It's fruity with the vanilla dry down. It has everything you want in a perfume. From the Oudgasm collection, I also really like Vanilla Oud and Cafe Oud. These were my two favorites. They're very wearable, not too heavy, still very creamy and delicious, and definitely best launches of the year. Amouage Guidance could easily make a top 5 list if I really forced myself to rank these fragrances. It's so beautiful. It's such a standout fragrance. Even with hundreds of incredible fragrances in my collection, I still had to purchase this one. That's when you know it's good. Altair from Parfum de Marly. Now this is what I've come to expect from the brand. This is greatness. It's a little spicy, a little sweet with vanilla. Definitely a unisex fragrance and one of the best. It's beautiful. Sugar Leather from Une Nuit Nomad is a caramel delight, such a beautiful fragrance. This is definitely on the sweeter, more feminine side. It has a little leather, but not too much. It really elevates the fragrance. Herba Gold from Xerjoff will transport you to an exotic tropical vacation. I cannot wait to wear this over the summer. Another summery favorite is Juliet Has a Gun Lust for Sun. It's a little floral, little coconut, tropical, reminds me of a day at the beach. I also really love Juliet Has a Gun Ode to Dullness. This is fall in a bottle. It's warm, cozy, reminds me of your favorite blanket or your favorite sweater, and not dull at all. If you love coconut, I know you will enjoy Vanilla Powder by Matière Premiere and Acro Rise. I tried to narrow down one over the other and I simply couldn't. They're very similar. I don't think you need both in your collection, but they're both beautiful fragrances and I would consider these some of the best. The cherry note definitely had a moment in 2023, and I think Cherry Ambition from the Seven Virtues is probably the best one, and it's a more affordable option. It's beautiful. Apple Love from Ellis Brooklyn is so pretty, definitely my favorite fragrance from the brand. It reminds me of a farmer's market. It's like fall in a bottle, such a pretty, happy fragrance. Sparkling Sugar from Clean Reserve is so underrated, but it's a standout fragrance. It's so pretty, and it's perfect for every single day. All three launches from Love Shack Fancy are outstanding. I chose Bohème for my full-size bottle, but I picked up all three because they're beautiful floral fragrances, perfect for spring-summer. And these are my favorite designer fragrance launches of the year. If you love rose, I think you will really appreciate Maison Margiela Replica On a Date, as well as Erin Rose de Grace Rouge. Burberry Goddess and Tom Ford Myrmidere. This is a layering combination I spoke about a lot this year. Individually, they're beautiful, but together, this is magic. Dolce & Gabbana Devotion is a sparkling citrusy vanilla fragrance. It's so beautiful and reminds me of vacation. Gucci Flora Gorgeous Magnolia. I love this fragrance and I really liked the Gorgeous Gardenia. I didn't expect to like this one as much, but I actually like it better. Out of all of the flankers launched in 2023, and there were a lot, Black Opium Le Parfum is hands down the best. I actually prefer this to Black Opium Eau de Parfum. It is such a pretty vanilla fragrance. Did not expect to love this as much as I do, but it blew me away. Considering how many fragrances I tried and added to my collection last year, my list of disappointments is relatively small. So it's not to say I didn't really like some of the other fragrances. I'll still grab them, I'll still wear them. They're just not best of the best. On my list of the worst is Parfum de Marly Valaya. I know so many people love this fragrance. This was just really disappointing for me. I find it a bit boring. It smells like clean sheets. Some of my favorite fragrances come from this house, so this was just not it for me. Roja Taif Oud. This is a really expensive fragrance. I wanted to love it, but I just couldn't make it work. I actually think this smells kind of bad. Tom Ford Electric Cherry. I love cherry notes, but this smells so synthetic. Maybe it's the ginger. There's something in here that I just don't really like. Tom Ford Ebene Fumé. I purchased this fragrance when it first launched and it smelled so bad I had to return it. Skylar Lime Sands was really disappointing as well. I usually like these tropical notes, but this just smelled so harsh. The lime almost smelled like cleaning detergent. And Replica from the Garden. I tried this recently at Sephora and it is just too green and bitter in my opinion. And that completes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, questions down below. I love hearing your recommendations. I think you have the best taste. So if there was anything that really stood out to you that I didn't mention, definitely drop it in the comments. If there was anything that was really disappointing, also let me know. We will keep the conversation going there. As always, I will be linking everything mentioned. Everything on my face will be down below in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.